Hi everyone, I'm Siris Rivas. Hi. I am messaging you from San Diego, California right now. It's been amazing here and so grateful for what's been showing up the last couple of months with my ask to have more children in my classes. And you'd think that maybe that would be really difficult for some parents to be juggling their kids while they come to these classes. Hey Matt, hey Keiko, hey Melania. Um, but it's actually such a contribution to the parents and the kids and the other participants to have these children in the classes. I'm so grateful. Part of what shows up and what has been showing up, and I'd love to invite you to any of my future classes, the ones that are already scheduled, the ones that have yet to be scheduled in the future, because one of the things that I love about these kids in the classes is that they don't have any resistance to the change that shows up. They don't have any point of view about the vulnerability that people have in some of these classes of, letting go of any of this stuff. They're like, oh, that's not working. Okay, bye. We'll just go. And we're just going to let that go and move on. And when a child is in the class, you can notice the adults that it brings up all these places in them where they, as that child's age or younger, started buying other people's points of views about what their life should be like, what they should wear, what they should do, what kind of people they should date and be around and have friends, and who they should have friendships with and who they shouldn't have friendships with. All of that comes up, and it's been amazing to see how it's shown up. I'm in San Diego here for about another week, and then I'm going to Chicago, and then I'll be in Savannah, my home, Savannah, where I have a home, and St. Louis, Missouri, and then after that, somewhere, I'm trying to remember, Charleston, South Carolina. And one of these things I'm really asking for more of these kids to have these tools, these access consciousness tools that are just revolutionary, really. I have so many stories, so many examples of how they have improved children's behavior, how they've made family dynamics easier. Like, how many of you know, if you have kids or when you were a kid, you're very aware of your parents' financial worries, perhaps, of all the things that they're like being pulled in all these different directions. And so here you are, a kid in that, and you're picking up on it too, and you think that that's your stuff. Well, what if you had tools to know really clearly what was actually true for you, what actually belonged to you, and what was just an awareness of other people's thoughts, feelings, emotions, of other people's worries and fears, of their depression and sadness. Like, I used to be so sad and so anxious, and I get now that most of that was me being aware of other people's sadness and anxiety and thinking that it was mine because I felt it. Yeah, I love these questions, Matt. What would it take to have more parents be aware of what's possible with their children to be far happier? Absolutely. And how would these children be if they were able to have their original point of views about this reality? Wowza, great questions. That's my target. In all aspects of my business, I'm a speech language pathologist, learning behavioral specialist, and feeding therapist, and I use these tools to empower parents and children to actually have their original points of views, what's true for them, what's going to work for them, and individually and together. And every family and every person is going to be different. And what if we didn't use other people's points of views to create our families, to function and be happy with our families, and also sometimes beyond our families? Sometimes having the certain family members with us and around us is actually not a contribution. And what if that wasn't wrong to choose what's going to work for you and maybe move away from your family and have a chosen family? So there's a lot of ways that this can show up. But one of the things that I've been loving in these classes is when the kids are there, we laugh more. And when you laugh, it's such a contribution to the earth. Happy Earth Day, everyone. And it's also such a contribution to our bodies. We let go of stuff like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh when it's laughter versus when we are trying to begrudgingly little bit by little bit let it go, and we're trying to go in our heads and like, okay, I guess I'm gonna let go of this point of view. I guess I'm gonna let go of this pain in my body. I guess this and this. Or you could just go, ha 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 ha, bye. And that's what happens more and more with these kids in the class. And I just so grateful. And they also pick up on these tools so much faster than the adults. So it really invites us as adults to be like, I need to step up. This 5-year-old is running bars like a boss. Or this this 10-year-old is already planning out their business. And here I am struggling with business because I'm getting all in my head and comparing myself to other people and how they run their business instead of having what's going to work for me, what's going to be like my way of doing business. So, I mean, I've had kids that are as young as like infants that are in the class, and they'll sleep on their parents, they'll lay on them, they'll move the energy. Sometimes the parents will put the babies on other people in the class to have that person receive that yumminess and that innocence, that joy, the kindness and sweetness that we knew was possible from the moment we came out into this world. And then we started letting all this glop and glom cover us up and maybe stop us from seeing what's actually true for us, what's actually possible. So, you know, I had a kiddo in Ada, North Carolina in a facelift class, and that's a body process class. It's a hands-on body process, and there's anti-aging benefits using energy, but there's so much more to it as well. There's a level of kindness that you are giving to your body with these energies. There's more than 20 energies that are activated in the facelift. And we had a 7-year-old in the class. You guys might have seen the video of it. Hopefully I posted it. If you scroll down on my wall, you might see it. You can check it out on my business page, Empowering Light Language, LLC. And when you go there, he's like moving his legs around while he's getting a facelift on his face. And before that, he was having a really crunchy day at school. And so he comes and everyone's like, oh, let's see how it's going to be with him in the class. And everyone was really excited and welcoming him in. And he was really having a hard time being still because it was like not what was working with him the same way. So we just kept adjusting and adjusting. Instead of making him wrong, we're like, hey, yeah, go ahead and move around. And then one time he's getting the facelift on his face where you just touch the face and you turn on the energies and you get to relax and receive and let go of points of views that make you age. How does it get any better than that? And he's moving on his legs and he's moving him like this, like up and down. And then he looked at me like waiting for me to reprimand him or something. And I was like, yeah, let's go for it. And then one of the other participants is like, what if we all did it? And so there's a video of everyone in the class that are receiving the facelift, like doing this like happy dance with their legs. And that what came up from us being an allowance and just being like, yeah, what if we all just let go and stop being so serious and actually had the joy of our bodies? It's possible. And so one of the things I love about these tools is it gives everyone, including the kids, the invitation to actually have the joy of their bodies, to actually have the joy of life and living. They can actually be happy with all of this testing that they're being asked to do in schools. You know, a lot of schools now, it's not really a lot about learning. It's about testing, testing, testing. And what else is possible beyond all that? What if you could actually have the joy of knowing what you know faster and connecting with your classmates and the teachers and maybe getting some outdoor time and movement? And so one of the things that has been showing up when they get their bars run, when they go to these classes and then their parents are running bars on them and they get to run bars on their parents perhaps, or they get these body processes, is that they have better behavior in schools. They don't have to lash out because they're not acting out in resistance to all of the lies and the BS that they're aware of in the schools. They get to know what's true for them, and then they have more allowance of like, oh, that's this teacher that's irritated right now because the principal is making more demands on them. Or, oh, that this child that's, you know, in my class, my classmate here, maybe they're upset because of something that's going on at home. So what can I give to them? What can I be with them and do with them that'll invite them to something else while knowing that that's not my stuff? that I don't have to do anything, but let me see if there's anything I can be. Sometimes it's just more space. Sometimes it's, let me give my classmate a hug. Let's go play. Let's actually remind them of that fun and joy. And these kids have that with these tools. It's been amazing. I had another kiddo where it was a teenager, a 15-year-old in New York, and this is just recently, and she had been resisting getting her bars run. And a lot of it was because the mom was really pushing it, was really like, oh, this is going to be very beneficial to you. And it is. And what if we didn't have to push our kids to do what's going to work for them? What if we choose for us? We choose what's going to work for us and what lights us up. Hi, Gloria. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Helen. Hi, Florence. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Anna. Hi, Carla. And we can actually have what's true for us, and it actually invites the kids that we're around to know what's true for them. I'm so, so grateful for my mom, for her choosing to play around with access consciousness tools, her taking all the classes, and then she went and gave all of us access bar sessions, and we were all like, wow, this is really cool. And it opened up this whole chapter in our lives where we could have what's true for us, and we can have even more joy with our bodies. Because for those of you that know us, we were already having fun. We like to dance, we like to sing in my family. You know, we were doing that. And what if you could take it to a whole other level? Like, there's no cap on how much joy you can have with your body if you're willing to have the awareness at whatever age you are of what's going to work with your body, of what lights your body up, of what would be like, oh yeah, let's do it. And these kids, like, I had a kiddo, that same 7-year-old, he was so upset and crunchy before the facelift, and then he gets off the table and he's like doing the happy dance. He's like, I'm so happy, I'm so happy, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. And he's like dancing around. And what if we could have that every day? What if we could do the happy dance and it actually be true for us? Every day, no matter what your age is, no matter what points of views anyone is impelling upon you and your beautiful bodies, what if you could be like, yes, I'm so happy, I'm so happy, I'm so happy, yeah. I get it. I wish I could have recorded it, but it was a quickie one where he was just like all over and just like jumped off the table and was like, yeah, let's do some more of this. So it was so, so cool. Some of the other things have shown up. Like, really, before I go into any other examples, like, what do you know? What have you always known, even as a kid, that was true for you in any area of your life, with your body, with relationships, with your family, with business, with money, with your health, with how you create that might be completely different than anyone else on the planet? What did you always know as a kid that was true for you that you might have blocked or hidden away from yourself? Are you willing to actually have that awareness now, so you can have a life that's based on what's true for you and not based on anyone else's points of views? They're just interesting points of views. I was creating my life for the longest time, most of my life, based on other people's points of views. I was creating my body, and all of the illness that I had, all the pain that I had, was me grabbing on to all these people's points of views and locking it in my body. And these tools unlock that. So I've been having people in my classes where they're saying, oh my gosh, my kiddo was sick and nauseous. I gave them the body process. They don't have the nausea anymore. Or I was recuperating from the surgery, and now I ran my bars, I gave myself a body process, and the recuperation was a lot faster than the doctors even expected. Ah, yes, Isabel, that the spirits of the earth were everywhere, that you always knew that. Yes. Oh, thank you for mentioning that. That's such a contribution. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, what did you know about the earth and about entities that you might have blocked or hidden away from yourself? I thought that everyone could see entities like I could. I was seeing them around my family members, and I just thought that nobody was choosing to talk with them. But I could see them. I was talking with them. And then people started saying all these things about scary movies and ghosts and spirits, and there was all this fear around it. And I started blocking my awareness to those entities. And they were still there, even if I blocked my awareness to them. So how much is always there waiting for you? That awareness is waiting for you to acknowledge. Hi, Carla. Another Carla. I remember being in a forest and looking for them when I was little and talking to them. Yes, actually. Yeah. And what one of the things that I love about this is that the kids, I've had kids in the classes be like, "Who's that? What's going on there?" And it's somebody that doesn't have a body. And they actually are in a space of no judgment in these classes where they get to actually know what they know and acknowledge, like, oh yeah, even if nobody else is willing to talk with them and receive them and perceive them, that's okay. This lady here, this crazy lady, usually they're pointing to me, hey lady, thanks for, pointing that out. And they look at me, or they'll just have their eyes will get big because I'll actually acknowledge, like, wow, you are so aware. Wow, you're so powerful. Oh my gosh, yeah, that totally is there. And nobody else in their life might actually be acknowledging that. So what if we could all acknowledge how aware we are and how aware we always have been, and stop making ourselves wrong for the awarenesses that we've been having since before we even came out into this world. Some of us, even in the womb. I have a really good friend who has very clear memories energetically of what was going on for her parents while she was in the womb. Yeah, that's possible. And so what if we could acknowledge that? What if we could actually use that awareness to create lives that are way too much freaking fun? Hey, Amy. Hey, Tamika. Awesome. And what if we could actually have that for us and then empower the children that we play with, the children that we work with, the children that we love, maybe your aunts and uncles out there, or maybe your caregivers and teachers and educators, all of that and more, anybody, really. The children in us, the children that we were, and the children that of now and of the future are asking for this. That's just my interesting point of view, that they're asking for this of us, for us to step up and acknowledge our awareness, what we've always been aware of and what we're aware of right now, so that we can create a different future for them, a sustainable living earth. Like Dr. Dane mentioned, if you didn't check out the video that he did, it's on my personal wall. Go ahead and check it out. You can just scroll down below this video and see that. It was phenomenal, the invitation that he was in that video. Like, just thinking about the energy of it and my awareness of what these kids are asking for just brings tears to my eyes, because it's like, yes, let's do this. And anything that doesn't allow us to be and do what the kids that we were always asking for of us, and what the kids now are asking of us, will we please let all of that go? Will we please choose what's actually going to work, that we know what's going to work? Maybe it's gratitude for all that's showing up, the good, the bad, the ugly, the awesome. Maybe it's being more space. Maybe it's being more an allowance where it's an interesting point of view. Whatever awareness you get about what is being asked uniquely from each of you, please acknowledge that and be and do that. Help me out here, because I don't get that I'm going to have kids, biological, that I'm going to give birth to kids in this life. That's just a choice that I'm making right now. Because I wake up and I go to sleep thinking of the kids of the world, the children of the world, and what they require. I'm traveling all over for them and for each of you and the children that you were. And the child that I was like, okay, wow, when I really look at the world that I wanted to live in, when I was a kid. Like, what can I be or do to bring that to fruition? That world, that reality. Being a part of this reality and then inviting it to go to a whole other level that I'm not even sure what it's going to look like, y'all. I don't have a point of view about it. I just know that it needs to have a lot more consciousness, a lot less judgment, more joy, and more possibility. And so if you know of anyone in these upcoming cities that I'm going to be a part of that would like some of this, please let them know. I'm coming. Now or in the future, I'm here. I'm stepping it up. And thank you for each and every one of you that have been bringing your kids to my classes, that have been choosing something different with your families, with education, with learning, with all of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I said earlier, I'm in San Diego right now. I live in Savannah. I'm going to be in Chicago next, in St. Louis, Missouri, in Charleston, South Carolina. I'll probably be in other parts of North Carolina later on, in New York. Like, let's do it. Let's rock the United States. There's some really crazy stuff happening, and everyone's really stressed and really focusing on all the things that aren't possible. And one of the things that I am asking every day is, what are the infinite possibilities here that I haven't acknowledged? Let's actually look at what's possible instead of what's not possible. Let's actually look at what we know and what we can be or do, and all the places where we're kind of hitting these obstacles and blocks. Let's go around them. Let's create beyond them. Let's choose what's actually going to give us the life living and wow, everything, the bodies that we are asking for. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, for watching this. Thank you for all of the beautiful messages and checking in with me in my travels. I really appreciate it. It's been a bit since I've been traveling for this long consecutively, and so all of it is very much appreciated. Thank you to the kiddos who are bringing the parents to the classes. And I will see you again next time. Bye, y'all.